Every time this boy moved to a new place, he and his mom would carry 2 heavy boxes up to their apartment together. But those boxes weren't filled with household goods. They contained his younger brother and sister. After sneaking the 2 little ones into their rented apartment, Mike still had to go to the train station to pick up his older sister. She waited at the station for a long time but never complained. She just quietly followed her brother home. Once they reached the building, she would first hide in a corner downstairs and only sneak upstairs after making sure the landlord wasn't nearby. The landlord had agreed to let only 2 people live in the apartment. Mom reiterated the house rules once more, except for Mike. No one was allowed to leave the house. Everyone else had to stay in their rooms at all times and were strictly forbidden from making any noise, so as not to disturb the neighbors. Otherwise, they'd be kicked out again. Mike listened without saying a word. He had long since grown accustomed to this life. Their mother had never been married, yet she had given birth to 4 children by 4 different men. The eldest, Mike, was 12. The second, Nick, was 11. The third, John, was 5. The youngest, Bella, was 3. None of the 4 children had been registered at birth, which meant none of them could go to school. Mom didn't come home until very late every day, so Mike, as the oldest child, was in charge of looking after his younger brothers and sisters. He often went out in the evening to buy groceries, carefully selecting the cheapest vegetables at the store. When he got home, he'd cook dinner, with Nick standing by his side, waiting for the meal. The children had no idea what their mother did for a living. All they knew was that she always smelled of alcohol when she came home. Occasionally, she'd sit down with Mike to help him practice reading. Sometimes she'd paint Bella's nails, and sometimes she'd play games with all 4 of them, even though they didn't go to school and weren't allowed to go out. The 4 children didn't feel like they were missing out on anything. As long as they could see their mom every day, they felt that was enough. Until one day, Mom pulled Mike aside and told him she'd fallen in love with her boss again. Once she married this new man, the 4 of them would finally be able to live a normal life and go to school. The next morning, Mike woke up to find his mom was gone. She had left only a short note and 100,000 yen. Mike wasn't afraid. This had happened many times before. He went out as usual to buy the things they needed, and every time his mom wasn't home, he would write down every expense on a piece of paper. In this household where Mom was often away, he had long since taken on the role of the one holding everything together. Day after day passed. The nail polish on Bella's fingers had long since faded, but Mom still hadn't come back. The money she'd left was almost gone. Mike had no choice but to go find Mom's ex-boyfriends to borrow some money from them. He managed to borrow a little from the first 2, but it wouldn't last long at all. Fortunately, a few days later, Mom finally showed up. She even brought gifts for the kids. Nick and Bella were thrilled, but Mike and the girl weren't. The girl sat to the side, listlessly tapping away at the keyboard, while Mom had already started packing her bags. She made a promise to all 4 of them. She assured the 4 children she would definitely be back by Christmas. Mike, silent as always, walked her to the station and carried her luggage for her. Watching her figure grow smaller and smaller in the distance, a feeling welled up inside him. Mom probably wouldn't ever come back.